in the upper left in the red. He is.
Samsung Galaxy Can Solar.
In the upper right in the purple, he is.
Yo Flash Whoops Party.
Whoop.
MMA 2 finals. Oh, turn it the other way.
Okay. Oh, that was close. All right. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good.
You got it. Don't worry.
Well, this is a 3-player map. So 3-player maps are funny because there's certain weird things you can do only on a 3-player map.
Yeah.
But it's not like a 1-on-1 map where there's, just any strategy that can be done probably will be done. Now, yeah, please go ahead.
Well,
Seems like you wanted to say something.
He opened with the gate first, so he's a little bit afraid of early pull. And Solar has won that mind game by going hatch first. So, tiny advantage here to Solar.
PartinG's going to scout that right away. As the first one of 2 locations he could have scouted was, in fact, where Solar was at. And so we have 400 minerals banked now for PartinG. He's going to make the nexus at his expansion.
All right. Well, I'm excited to see how this game unfolds, but we got a little bit until then. That's for sure. Let's talk to me, Tasis.
Well, I'm not even sure what to ask you. We've been casting so much. All I've done is seen you and talked to you for the past few days, so I have nothing.
So see me and talk to me some more. It's your job.
How about you ask me something? You go.
I just did ask you something.
To talk to you?
Yeah.
Give me a topic and I'll pick it.
All right.
Give me a topic and I'll dish it out.
If you had to either have really long hair, like down to your butt, or shave your head, which would you go with?
Really long hair. Well, here's the thing: is I'm trying to imagine me personally,
yes,
with just long hair in general. Now we're talking about like long straight hair, or would this be just like unkempt, like out of control?
Well, I mean, you can comb it if you want.
I mean,
I know that's a foreign concept, you tasteless, but yeah, I mean, you can do what you want with it, but it has to stay that long.
I think I'd have to shave my head, actually.
You'd shave your head over that?
Yeah, I would actually shave my head over that. What would you do?
I'd get those sick Maynard dreads, man.
Maynard dreads. Actually, if I had to do dreads, I would be okay with that. But if it was just like long straight hair, now. You have to be a certain kind of guy to pull off the long straight hair.
You have to be a certain kind of guy to pull off completely bald, too.
Well, what I have to do if I go bald is I have to get ripped. That's the rule.
Yeah, that is true.
Ever had a friend who had hair and then he lost it all? He's probably more ripped than he was before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what about you? I'm trying to imagine you bald, and it terrifies me. But
I think that the thing is, I have an alien head. You know, Alien.
Yeah.
Like,
what do you have, like one of the long back head?
Oh, yeah. It goes way back, and when I open my mouth, there's a smaller alien in it.
I've seen Artosis naked, and it definitely looks like one of those Area 51 aliens running around. So.
My almond eyes and everything.
Although, let's talk about
my pale gray skin.
Let's talk about this for a second. Nobody's more pale than Apollo. If you got Apollo naked and had him crouch beside my refrigerator and close his eyes, he'd disappear, okay? That's how pale that guy is.
I once took a selfie of me and Apollo with my flash on, and he got a sunburn. All right, it looks like we have a Robo here, so this very well could be an Immortal push.
Oh, wouldn't this be a great way to end this?
It would
with
be.
A build similar to how PartinG became the world champion.
Yeah, PartinG is the best Immortal pusher in the world.
Yeah, bar none.
Mm-hmm.
Now, notice how he's placing gateways very carefully here. Excuse me, that's a Robo Bay. If you have the Robo Bay, you got to keep that very well hidden. But also the gates, when we see that coming up here too, you want to space them out. You want to create some ambiguity. If they scout any part of you, they only see, maybe that 25% of what's happening. Mm-hmm. They can't ever have certainty until the push actually starts.
Yeah. Well, he's making a Warp Prism first, so I think he'll show that. You might try for like a warp in and freezing the ramp and whatnot. But, the build overall that we've been seeing from Solar here, he's been going into very quick Hydralisk Den pretty much every single game. That is the type of build that can do well against something like this. Immortals don't get bonus against Hydralisk or Zerglings, so I'm not sure if you were aware of that, Tasis.
I didn't know. Thank God you're here. So we have the Warp Prism coming out now. Now, this is actually not what I initially thought it was going to be. but it's a variation
Oh,
of what it is. He's actually.
I love this.
Oh, cool!
I love it. That is so awesome to see. Because I think he's expecting it to go right into Hydras. So he's getting ready for that.
He's got to force field the ramp. This is where it gets sick. He's going to start warping in Zealots.
He missed the force field, though.
Oh, yeah, he did. Okay, well, that's okay. He got one down there now.
Okay, this was actually still okay.
He needs to get another force
still
field.
in factor. He needs a whole position
Force
on
field,
Zealots. Okay, he does get that force field off. He's picking off quite a few drones.
This is actually working. Where are the Zealots? You need to warp in Zealots. Is he just giving up?
No, I think he just like doesn't. He didn't have the warping rounds. He doesn't have a ton of gates.
Oh, he's going to lose a warp.
Oh, he doesn't want to lose that warp.
I can't even believe he went back and got that.
That was some balls.
That was nothing but balls.
He expects Solar to be so good that the Queens immediately go back on creep.
I'm so impressed he actually went and got that sentry.
Well, you would be really disappointed if he tried it and died.
Yeah,
so
of course.
You're actually a Fairweather fan in this case.
I got to say, cool to see that strategy used again here. And what it's going to be a follow-up Colossus tech.
I love this 2-base Colossus type of push. Now, I guess he could go ahead and take a third, but I would imagine that he wants to go all in with this, especially since he's making a photon cannon. Like, he already has 2 Immortals to help clean up. His sentry count isn't that high, but 2-base Colossus pushes can do quite well against Hydralisk base builds. So I'm excited. I'm really excited about this.
This is going to be a serious power build. Now, notice where he's put that Colossus. It's tucked away. Not 100% clear to Solar that this is actually the build that's coming. He already showed some Immortals, too.
He wants those Immortals seen.
Yeah, exactly. He wants his opponent to say, "Oh, okay,
Immortal push.
Don't
Keep
make
making
roaches.
Hydras.
Yeah, don't make roaches."
Yeah. Even if he does, he still has some, a couple of Immortals in there to help deal with it. But yeah, if he stays on Hydra Ling, that low hit point is going to die so quickly with the splash damage. So definitely a big deal. Oh, this Ling, will he scout? Oh, he sees the Colossus.
That's all he needed to see.
Right.
And that's going to trigger the attack.
Multiple cannons and gates on the way. Lots of those. He realizes that very good chance there's going to be counterattack. Very good chance this could turn into a base trade scenario.
Not a great creep spread here.
Oh, man, my heart is really beating quick right now. I'm like, oh my god, who's going to win this?
It's going to come down to this right now. The creep spread is subpar here for Solar. So, I mean, if he loses this engagement off creep, all those Hydras die.
All right, let's see how good your control truly is, Parting.
Oh, this is kind of an odd spot to be fighting when the watchtower is being reclaimed over and over. Okay, so Solar's on the run. He's going to try to get him from behind here. I don't know. Oh my god, he's going to counterattack.
This is why he made 5 cannons at his nat, I believe. They didn't quite show exactly how many, but I believe he has 5 there. So
whoa.
He kind of anticipates this.
Okay, he's speeding.
If he warps in a big round here, yeah, look at that. He actually has 6 and sentries. That will break Solar's heart.
He can just force field the ramp here.
Wow.
He can actually just go up in the main if he wants to.
Parting has actually anticipated everything perfectly here, and it looks like Parting could be going on to that round of 4.
Let's see how this final counterattack goes here from Solar. I don't believe it's going to be able to get up. There's so many cannons here, and now with force fields coming down.
Yeah, he needs more force fields.
He might even want to pull probes here. All he has to do is actually hold this off. He's going to go now into the heart of Solar's base.
He's picking off 2 hatches, so he could actually recall after killing this one. And
that's very true. He might want to get that Spire up there, too.
Yeah,
Notice, as I said, that he targets that down.
Yeah. He heard you. That's why you're cheating. You and Parting are cheating.
I am just as good as Parting. That's what we can conclude here.
Yeah, clearly.
And look, he should just recall back.
There we go.
Hello.
And those Hydras going to be made quick work of. It's 1 base against 2 right now. Kept his probes alive. Everything's looking fantastic.
And now it looks kind of funny, but now he just pushes right out again.
Yep. Just walks across the map. He's making more cannons at home just to make sure, because he figures, you know what, there could be a Ling counter. But that's it. Look at Solar. Look at Solar leaning back in his chair.
Solar reclining.
Oh, that is the posture of defeat, Tasteless.
That is. And I think he's probably just digesting this loss. It's 55 supply to 123.
Tasteless, this loss is like chewing gum. It can't be dissolved.
It's this should be it. You can see Solar, half-heartedly playing right now. To see if maybe he can come up with something. He does get the Colossi.
He's checking his email right now.
Oh, he just makes a bunch of fake Colossi because he doesn't care.
GG, congrats, and Parting moving on to the round of 4.
Party did it.
Wow,
All the
wow,
trash talk.
sick.
It all came down to that last game. He held the counterattack. He recalled back. Party is going on to the final 4.
That is sick, man. Wow. We have one side of the bracket. I'm getting chills. PartinG versus MMA on one side of the bracket. No matter who goes to the finals, this finals is already insanely awesome.
What a
Those
treat.
two are like perfect humans to have in the finals.
Solar clearly very disappointed. I don't blame him for doing the counterattack, but you can only imagine the frustration of seeing 6 cannons, or 5 or 6.
Yeah, he had 6 cannons and 2 sentries waiting and full wall. PartinG completely anticipated this move. Like, PartinG really outthought Solar in that game.
He did.
Really did. Like, that whole series was very back and forth and very good, but PartinG way outthinking him on merry-go-round.
Well, I'm happy with today's results now. Even though we had a
Yes.
one-sided series
This
for
is
the
a
first
very good
best
one.
of 5, this one was great. Definitely tell your friends to check this series out.
It was like, hey, we even had a couple like real macro games. So
yeah,
I mean, we had good timing attacks, good macro games, good mind games, a rush in there. You know,
Yeah.
it was like good stuff. Good
Also,
stuff,
the
good
trash
series.
talk ahead of time. I'm actually curious to see what PartinG says now.
He'll probably take most of it
There's
back.
no real animosity between these two, by the way, guys.
No,
They're just
no.
two fun personalities. And
We've had animosity in the past in StarCraft II, but it seems like pretty much everyone grew up or retired.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So we're going to have an interview shortly here with PartinG and see how he's feeling, and now that he is going on to the round of 4. And, I mean, that's one best of 5 away from going on to the finals, man. Well, wow. Great games.
Yeah, let's
Great
get that
series.
interview, man.
And now Beauty's going to be interviewing PartinG to see how he's feeling.
축하드립니다.
So, PartinG, you finally made it to the
경기
semifinals, and he
끝나고
says, thank you very
감격해하는
much.
모습 정말 인상 깊었습니다. 소감 어떠세요?
I see how happy you are after the
아직도
matches.
진짜 이게 꿈만 같고
네.
눈물이 날
I
것
feel like
같은데
I'm dreaming right now. I almost feel like crying, actually.
8강에서 무릎 꿇고
네.
맨날 매번 그 GSL 아직 우승한 건 아니지만
I never,
진짜 마음이 많이 아팠거든요. 저는 맨날
I normally never-
노력은
excuse
엄청
me, I normally never get
남들보다
past the round of
못지않게 남들보다 더 한다고 생각했는데
네.
항상 경기력에서는 방송
But
경기력에서는
when it comes to something like this, I put in a lot of effort.
뭔가 연습 경기력이 나오고
네.
그리고 또
I'm definitely an example of a guy who practiced a lot.
그런 패배가 반복되다
Previously, I just
보니까
wasn't able to pull out the play I wanted, at least at
이제 자신감이
GSL.
없어지더라고요. 8강만 올라서면.
네.
그래서 오늘도 솔직히 아까 말씀드렸다시피 민수가 무서운 게 아니라
So,
8강에서
previously, this had been
저그를
reducing my confidence a lot.
그냥 가슴 한 구석에서
I wasn't so much scared of Solar
것 같아.
as I was just scared
너 질 것 같다
of Zerg in
이렇게
general.
하는데 제가 계속 릴렉스 할 수 있다고 다
I
이겨냈으니까
lost against Zerg so many times in the round of 8.
윤성 아니면은 아무한테도 안 질 수도 있다 이런 계속 마인드 컨트롤
I kept
했는데
telling myself, I can do it, I can do it.
경기가 초반에 유리한 경기도 치고
네.
All I had to do was get through Solar.
2대1까지 몰려가지고 아 이제 여기까지인가 보다 했는데 그래도 어머니가 항상
I lost 2 maps already.
있어가지고 그 기도에 힘 받아서
I just was trying not to lose my confidence. I was actually thinking about my mother, who's always praying for me whenever I'm in a match, and has always been
초반에
supportive of
굉장히
me.
경기를 힘들게 푸셨어요. 1세트 저격 빌드를 준비해 오셨는데도 안 됐잖아요. 그때 1세트 어떠셨어요? 처음부터 꼬였죠.
So after you had the
1세트
first
때
matches, you seemed
원래
like,
연습
at the later games, you had really good builds prepared.
네.
세 번째 확장 기제를 깨거나
But some of those strategies weren't
아니면은
working
이제
back there.
많은
Tell us about
드론을
that.
잡는 거였는데
And
근데
he says,
점식은 여다 떠 있고 어쩔 수 없다 하면서 그냥 울며 겨자 먹기 식으로
yeah, after I
드론이랑 싸우는데 좀
saw
많이
the
잡았던 것 같아요.
overseers in
제가
Team 1
자세하게 막 건물 짓고 그러느라
and
잘 못
watched them
봤는데
scout everything,
근데 그렇게
it screwed
유리하게
everything
가면서
up.
제가 좀 약간 못 끌어간 것도 약간
and the game just didn't go the way I wanted it to
그리고
go.
제일 컸던 거는 그 제가 고위기사 만들어서 이제 살모사 러시만 막으면 엄청 유리하게 갈 수 있는 상황이었는데
네.
그때 부대 지정
The most important factor was the High
항상
Templars.
고위기사를 만들었는데 만화는 충분히
I
있었거든요.
produced High Templars.
쓸 수 있는. 근데 그게
And when I
키가
grouped my army,
항상이랑 그러니까 이게 말로 어떻게
I
설명해야 될지 모르겠는데
messed up
스킬이 안
making
나갔어요.
a
그래서
separate
막을 수 있는
control
상황이었는데
groups for
그걸
my
지고
army.
약간 멘붕됐는데
네.
So overall, my
근데 제가 항상
control
패배하면서
in game
똑같은
1,
실수하지 말자
it wasn't
생각해가지고
a good,
이번에는
it
진짜
was
깔끔하게
pretty
이긴
disastrous.
것 같아요.
네, 이 3세트에도 심리전을
So after the first set, I tried not to make the same mistake.
잖아요. 근데 또 저글링 다수에 계속 손발이 묶이는 상황이 계속 나왔었는데 그때 해설진들도 계속 욕심 부리다가 계속 망한다 이런 지적들을 하셨거든요.
So you went for the early
조급한 게
second base.
있었나요?
It was right after Solar sent a lot of
오늘
legs.
컨셉을
And they're talking about the
제가
game where
항상
Solar, game 3 where Solar did
출발
the quick pull.
선그 뭐냐 지원소
네.
지원소 맞나? 그 포지 포토캐논 러시 하려고
네.
캐논 러시나 아니면 선 게이트 한 다음에 막 초원 형이 같이 하는 그 사차랑
I used to
러시
play,
같은 걸 많이
cannon
하는데
rushes on
그래서
King
그 모습은
Sejong
절대 안 할
Station.
거라 생각했는데 저한테 근데 역시 민수도 우승도 해본 경험도 있고
So he clearly knows about my style.
반짝이도 할 줄 아는 선수라고 생각.
So I was sure Solar wouldn't do an 8 pull.
강하고 아 역시 만만치 않네 생각했어.
So when he did that, I was totally caught off guard. It was a smart alteration of his strategy. And after that match, I really thought, wow, my opponent's really good at preparation.
일단 지금 손이 너무 부들부들 떨리는데 아.
She says, overall, are you
이렇게
satisfied
은길이
with your
아나운서님이랑
performance?
얘기하니까 눈물도 들어가고 진짜 가만히 있었으면 눈물 쇼 보여드릴 수 있었는데
You know, actually, my hands were shaking.
지금도 약간 저번처럼
my
정신이
hands weren't
없어요.
quite
지금
doing what I
내가
wanted them
지금
to.
멈춰 있는 상태여서
But now that I'm having an interview with this beautiful lady, Goody,
아직도 많이 부족한 걸 많이 느꼈어요.
오, 8강의 적을 그래도
And I still feel like I'm
넘어가는 면에서 굉장히 성과가 좋습니다. 오늘
he's kinda jumping all over the place here.
결정지은 마지막 세트도 참 경기였는데요. 그 경기 포함해서는 또 박대만 해설가도 또 이야기를 해보죠.
네, 오늘도
Now
오현
over to
선수의
Dejan, who's going to
경기를
ask a few
보면서 저도
questions,
말렸어요. 네,
more
저도
in depth
말렸습니다.
strategically.
이제 센터
interview is
지역에서
longer
같이
than the
병력이
first best of
교차하는 상황이
five.
나왔어요. 그게 한 5초 이상 되던 상황이어서 파수기들이 히드라
So there are moments, or were moments, that your opponent's armies were actually passing each other side by side, and they weren't engaging.
미니맵을 이거 좀 못 보는 거 아니냐 이런 얘기 오늘도 나왔었거든요. 해설을 하면서 어떻게 생각을 하나요?
And it seemed like you were,
솔직히 제가 미니맵을 잘 못 보긴 해요. 근데
it seemed like you weren't quite staying on top of
근데
the
제가
minimap.
눈도 엄청 매우 안
Parley
좋기도 한데 근데
says-
제가 아직
I'm actually, that's probably my weakest strength was reading
기본기가
the
아직도 많이
minimap.
부족하다고
My
느끼는
weakest
My weakest.
건데 많이
I'm not
고치기
gonna-
힘들더라고요. 그래서 지금은 은퇴했지만 태경이 형한테
I think I
많이
need to have
물어봐요.
tweak some more of my
어떻게
basic skills.
그래서
I've actually been
많이
asking one of my pro
지금
gamer
은퇴한
buddies,
선수 형이지만 그래도 배울 게 많아가지고
whose name is
많은
Taekyon. I don't know what
조언을
ID
네,
that
그래도
is.
뭐 시력이 그렇게 막 나빠가지고
김
미니맵이 안 보이고 이런 건 아니죠?
그냥
네.
건물
비수.
짓고 막 좀
딴 거 하고
네.
있을 때 안
네.
보인다는 얘기죠?
그러니까 너무 한 곳에만
So Bisu's been giving
집중해져서
him tips,
보는 것
actually.
같아요, 제 눈이.
네, 그러면 확실히 기본기의 문제네요.
네,
네,
네.
기본기를 좀
He says, I think I'm
끌어올려야
prone to
될까.
focus.
그리고
only
세종과학기지에서는
focus
그
on one side of the
안마랑
map, not all of the map.
연결체를
Bisu was like a
포기할 수 있는
spider. He had
타이밍도
like 100
있었어요.
eyes looking at everything at once.
Yeah, he
근데
was really
수정탑이 깨져서 좀 그거를
네.
그냥 지키고 싶었던 건가요?
네, 그게 수정탑이 깨지면은 그 마당 그를 완성시켜서 인구를 뚫은 다음에 그 진로수로 프로브랑 잘 시켜서 막아야 되는데 민수가 역시 카운터 빌드를 꺼내온 만큼 대처를 잘하더라고요. 저도 그래서 최선의 대처를 했다고 생각하는데 그래도 역시
They're discussing the proxy
빌드
build.
우위가 확실히 제가
There was
많이
apparently
졌다
another
보니까
proxy build that he
따라서
wanted to
개인적으로
do in one of their games, but
그리고
Solar,
사전
the
인터뷰
way he was
관련
scouting that game,
도발을 많이
there was no
하긴
moment where he had the
해요.
opportunity to do
본인은
that.
그냥
So
그러려니 하고 계속
he
있습니다.
looks like he
언제까지
just
그럴
nixed
건가요?
that one.
근데 솔직히 제가 오늘 깔끔하게 이겼으면은
네.
세레머니 좀 재밌는 거 하나 있었는데 근데 제가 좀 감격스럽게 이겼잖아요.
He mentioned the
그래서
party was
여기서
doing
하면
winning
약간 좀
ceremonies. You know,
골도
normally partying does
쟤
some kind of
뭐지?
celebration or dance or
이런
something.
느낌도 날 것 같아서 그냥 딱 스토리에 맞게
He says usually if he wins like with a 3-0, he'll probably do some
그리고
cocky
오늘도
ceremony.
그렇고
But
지난 경기도
since
그렇고
this was a
문성원
pretty
선수
close
경기력이
match, it
너무
was
좋아요.
pretty tough.
혹시 문성원 선수
Didn't
경기도
feel it
챙겨보시나요?
necessary.
제가 문성원 선수 어떻게 보면 팬이에요. 왜냐하면 경기력이 좀 엄청 재밌고
So what
팬분들도
did he has
항상
asking what
공감하실 텐데
what Party
제가
thought of
개인적으로
MMA's
좋아하는
skill on those
선수예요.
matches
사람도
that were played
참
before this.
착하시고, 네.
And he said, personally, I really, really like
물어보는 것도
MMA.
잘 대답해 주시고
You could even say I'm a
그래서
fan of MMA.
제가 그때 그 32강이었는데
He's been
16강 할
a
때부터 제가
good
그때
older
같이
brother in a Korean sense, and he's been very kind to me.
근데 이렇게 진짜 만날 줄은 몰랐는데 이제 뭐
And when I met him in the round of 32,
제가 지려 밟고 올라가드리고
they were both encouraging each other to get high up in
네,
the
그리고
tournament.
마지막으로
And now
본인이
since
이제
they're going to be the
우승을
next round, it should
차지한다라고
be
했을
interesting.
때 앞으로 이제 문성원 선수 만나잖아요. 그러면은
He says,
결승에는
unfortunately, if he does beat him in the next round, it's
그렇게
just going to
계속
have to take him
만나서
out.
테란 잡고 우승하고 싶나요? 그게 가장 좋은 시나리오인가요?
솔직히 요즘에
He said, so what's your
승현이랑
best scenario? Would you only prefer to meet Terrence here?
솔직히 저는
So far, I think innovation is in
이와와도
top form
상관없다는 솔직히
amongst all the pro
거짓말이고
gamers.
솔직히 테란이 개인적으로 나은 것 같아요. 왜냐면 제가
So
테란전은
personally,
그나마 좀
I would prefer to face off against the Terran.
완벽하게 이해하고 있다고 생각해요. 제 개인적으로. 그리고 성적도 많이 잘 나오고.
So just in my opinion, I would personally,
재밌는 경기도
I
하면서
think
실리도
my grasp on PBT
다음
is really,
시즌
really
오윤 씨가
good.
잡으러 옵니다. 이번 시즌 꼭
So-
우승하세요.
Because I'm confident that I wouldn't mind facing him.
그때는
And then
게임으로
Daejung saying,
승부하는 게
yeah, but what
아니라
about next season? Will Sue just come beat you then?
노코멘트 하겠습니다. 여기까지.
He says no comment about
이번이
that.
정말 좋은 기회다라는 말씀인 것 같은데요. 자, 이제 4강이 아닌 결승까지도 이야기할 수 있는
So,
시즌이
Cutie saying,
됐습니다.
I guess PartinG's telling us that
지금
this is gonna be the
누구와
best
이런
season for him to
기쁨을
win.
나누고 싶으세요?
일단 어머니한테 바로 전화 드려서
She said, are there any particular people you'd like to share this moment with and give shout-outs
왜
to?
이렇게 벌레한테 지냐고.
네.
He's talking about his
한창
mother again.
주성우 선수가
네.
우승하고 그럴 때막
My mother
좀 주성우처럼
usually
해보라고
talks about me
막
as a bug.
근데
I guess it's a nickname.
엄마 내가 시대에 앞서간 거라고 지금. 그러니까 아무도
She said previously that he had been losing like a little bug.
네, 앞서갔는데 어제 어머니는 이제 주성욱이 계속
Bugs
우승하니까
actually win.
맨날 주성욱이랑 저를 비교하는 거예요. 주성욱 선수랑. 그래서 제가
And his mom apparently would compare him to Zest.
어머니 때문에
look at how
맨날
great he's
비교해가지고
doing.
그래서 제가 한 번
Wow.
그런 적 있어요. 비교하지 말라고. 네, 우승할 거라고.
So he said
그래서
personally he
이번에
doesn't like
우승할
Zest for
테니까
that.
네.
어머니의
And I don't even like my
그
mom
마음은
comparing me to
그냥 잘
Zest.
좀 하라 그런 건 알고 있긴 하지만
네.
그래서
I understand how
우승해서
much my
제가
mom loves me,
강하다는 걸 증명하고 싶어요.
네.
but she said she has to
주성욱과
stop comparing me to
어윤수가
Zest.
없는 이 순간이 정말 원시태 선수에게는
And I wanna
절호의
prove
기회입니다.
That I am
마지막으로
just as good as Zest. I wish we could just make this a little bit weirder and just have a camera on
이렇게
Zest the entire time.
진짜
So
드디어
any final words,
파이널에서
Party?
저주의 벽을 넘었는데 나는 진짜 시간이 걸렸어요. 왜냐하면 제가 2012년 이후로 4강 가본 적도 없고
So I
3년
crossed the
만에
border called the round of
간것
8.
같은데 4강을 이렇게 힘들게 진짜 꾹 참고 이렇게 빵 터져서
It's been
올라온
a tough
만큼
journey.
4강에서 멋진 경기
My road to the
보여주고
semifinals was not easy.
제가 꿈에 바라던 모든 트로피 다 필요 없고 GSL 트로피만 필요하거든요.
So I'm going to prepare
그래서 꼭
really hard for the
찾아보도록 하겠습니다.
semifinals.
네, 과연
To
원희석
make-
선수가 코드 S에서도
To
결승에
make it, I'm
진출해서 트로피를
going to try my very best to fulfill my dream, make it to the final stage and win there.
Okay.
All right.
There you see it, guys. 3-0 and 2-3 here today. MMA versus PartinG in that round of 4. I do want to say something real quick to PartinG's mom in case she's watching the English stream here. And that is the fact that, let's talk about bugs for a second here. Ants lift 3 times their body weight.
Yeah.
Bees make honey.
It's actually,
and
I think it's 5 times. Yeah, bees can make honey.
I think it's closer to 3 times. But look, they're very much stronger than PartinG or PartinG's mom is. Okay, and like, if there's nuclear fallout, cockroaches are left, humans are not. Okay, why are we hating on bugs right now?
Well, I think
Have you ever
what-
seen the
she
horn on a
wasn't-
dung beetle? Come on, rhinoceroses are garbage next to bugs.
Well, she was saying losing like a bug.
Since when do bugs lose? These are all winning things.
Well,
that
they lose when you step on them, but
if you
I
step
was
on
actually
them,
more in shock she was comparing him to Zest, man. That's brutal.
Let's see you take on a hive of bees, Tasteless. It's not 1-to-1.
Yeah, right. Tasteless comes out in his beekeeper outfit and just kills them all. Bug spray? Yeah, let's go, bees. Are there any bees watching? When and where? Let's do
But
this.
then you realize that moths, because this has been the Closet song, moths have laid their eggs and those caterpillars have eaten through, and
watch
the bees
out.
fly in and they sting you.
The day the bee kingdom and the moth kingdom team up to take on Tasteless is a day I'm ready to wait for, okay? What a great day today.
The bees and the moths. I love it.
We are going to have more matches Friday. It's going to be...
The bees and the moths versus Tasteless. It's going to be great.
yeah.
It's going to be like some other players, I don't know, like Life and Innovation and then Rogue and Hero, something like that.
Something like that. Definitely don't miss out. We have a day off tomorrow. We've been casting a lot lately. Check out the stuff we did for Heroes of the Storm. We're going to be doing the finals of the Heroes of the Storm cast on Saturday. So check that out. Great work, Artosis. We love you guys. We'll see you on Friday. Good night.
I just wanna tell ya, you just got a mighty agenda. Wanna please you all day long. Baby boo, you're on my radar. 'Cause those heart explosions later